This is a Dr. Seuss book, probably one of his most famous, and one that all of our kids loved when they were little. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me and sternly says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales." Now, what can I say when I get home today? All the way to school and all the way back, I've looked and looked and I've kept careful track. But all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. There's nothing to tell of that won't do, just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling that cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, the zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. A gold and blue chariot's something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. There's that chariot and the zebra. It's a strange looking zebra, but that's a whole lot fancier than a poor old wagon with a poor tired old horse. No, that won't do at all. The zebra's too small. A reindeer is better. He's fast and he's fleet, and he'd look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute, there's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that runs on wheels. He'd be much happier if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and sleigh? Say, anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat, say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size, a blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes. And then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say, that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But now I don't know, it still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip it around in the air like a kite. But he looks simply grand with a great big brass band. See the whole big brass band with the tuba and the trumpets and all kinds of drum with the cymbals. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched on behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. Two helpers to help the elephant. With the Raja and the big brass band and the trailer with somebody to listen. Because it's getting awfully big. But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into Bliss. This is Mulberry Street, this is Bliss Street. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through where the traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself at the lead. There's Sergeant Mulvaney and the two more officers, and the two helpers, and the elephant, and the Raja, and the big brass band, and the trailer to listen. The mayor is there, and he thinks it's grand, and he raises a hat, and they dash by the stand. The mayor is there, and the aldermen too. Here's the mayor and all the aldermen. all waving big black banners of red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti while everyone cheers. Well, here's the airplane here. They're dumping out the confetti. And that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Supposing I add, oh my goodness, you won't believe what he adds. A Chinese man who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb, no time for more, I'm almost home. So here's the 10-foot beard that needs a comb, a big magician doing tricks, a Chinese man who eats with sticks, the big brass band with the trailer, the mayor, the alderman, the airplane with confetti, the elephant with its 2 helpers, and the Raja with all his jewels, and Sergeant Mulvaney with his 1 helper. Well, there should be another policeman in there somewhere. I swung round the corner and dashed up the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great, for I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was just so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. The end.